it's one of them. I feel privileged to be taking part in this. Obviously, I'm not going to win. I'm just going to go there, pick my money up and go home.
Cassius Clay and Doug Jones took part in a little-known exhibition match on October 27, 1966. This was 3.5 years after Clay's controversial win over Jones at Madison Square Garden. 6 months later, Clay's boxing licenses were revoked, but not before he beat Cleveland Williams, Ernie Terrell, and Zora Foley in fights that looked eerily similar to this stage performance. This was Cassius Clay in his absolute prime, and Doug Jones was just there to work out. Clay comes out dancing around using the whole ring. His feet are all over the place. He's almost never in position to punch. And Doug Jones is just following him around the ring instead of planting himself in the center and looking to counter as Muhammad Ali advances. Clay starts flicking a jab a little bit, still using the entire ring, showing off to the crowd a little bit. Maybe he lands a couple of jabs there, probably not. Whenever he stops to drop, it looks like he's there to be hit, but Doug Jones is just working out. Looks like Ali just landed a bit of a right-hand slap. It's just an exhibition. He's taking it easy. Looks like he was there for a counter right hand, just as he was there for a couple of jabs. Doug Jones is able to time Ali's stops just as he did there while pulling his right hand. Ali doesn't seem to have good sense of distance just yet. He's throwing a lot of his punches from too far, some of them from too close, and some of them just the right distance. But he seems predictable. I'm not sure why his opponent is pulling his punches when he only has an 1.5 inch reach disadvantage per arm, so it shouldn't be that difficult to time Ali and hit him when Ali stops in front of him upright and defenseless with his chin up in the air. The body punches are working. He's timing him just fine with those, it would seem. Ali mostly out of range, as I said, just showing off. There he's too close. Jones seems to have no problem timing Ali, except again he pulls that punch. And it's easy to understand why Ali's so easy to time, because everything he does is extremely telegraphed. You know exactly when he's going to punch. And when is that? When his feet stop moving, just as they did there. But now Ali seems to be punching from the right distance, except he just got timed again. There's a very good reason why boxers don't fight like this anymore, or never really did, because they would just get knocked out. But Ali's clearly there to just rock the crowd, show off, wow them. He gets time as he comes off the ropes, except just to the body. Jones is still not extending his punches because, well, he's not the hero of this play. Another reason why fighters don't fight like this, and never really did in the past, is because nobody has the stamina to waste so much movement and energy on very ineffective boxing. There, Ali gets off a ton of punches, nothing hits, except a couple of slaps there, but, it's just an exhibition, so he's having fun in there. All that bouncing around is eventually just going to get him timed just as it did there. Only his opponent doesn't seem to be up to the task. Ali seems to rock him a little bit with a counter of his own, and the crowd likes it. Ali's working very hard, not really looking to hurt his opponent, but maybe now he is. Now he seems to be putting some pain on him, puts him on the ropes, and basically punches himself out. Yeah, this sort of stuff, which he did in the 3 fights after this, it'll just get you knocked out, as it almost did right there, right? If this were a real fight. Yeah, this sort of stuff just doesn't work, because, or that. This is just a ticket to KO land. See? Body shot, another one, little low that one, but now Ali looks punched out and tired. He's gonna rope-a-dope himself into Parkinson's. Obviously it's just an exhibition, so these guys are taking it easy on one another, but technique's technique, right? And this is exactly why Ali ended up rope-a-doping so much and getting his head beaten. Because no one can sustain the sort of tempo that he would try to sometimes. There's just too much wasted energy, too much wasted movement, and it just really isn't effective. And neither are any of these punches. Now, I know this is an exhibition, but go watch some of his real fights where he does the exact same thing and his opponent lets him get away with it. Backs away from his opponent with his hands down, chin up in the air, and gets hit again and again and again. Not very hard because, you know, he had a significant reach advantage over these guys and a bit of a reach advantage here, so I guess he could get away with this type of stuff against someone who's barely 6 feet tall and is not even extending his punches, as you just saw there. And it's just kind of walking into punches like a zombie, not extending them yet again. So much as Doug Jones looks like a sitting duck, well, Ali is too. That was that era of heavyweight boxing. It was really poor skill-wise, and it was really the lighter weights that showcased all the skill back in those days. This was just theater, you know. It was a dance performance, and the crowd loved it. It was what it was. It got them excited, and a lot of people made a lot of money. A little bit of head movement and, you know, counter punching, and you got him. You got him exactly where you want him, Ali. He looks very arm weary, punched out, you know. Again, I get it, it's just an exhibition, but watch some of his fights. Oh, my goodness. This guy would have been knocked out so many times in today's boxing. It's incredible. This exhibition was, in my humble opinion, a rehearsal for what was to become the next stage of young Clay's career. He was to become the actor known as Muhammad Ali. Say my name! It just so happened that the authorities, who couldn't nab him, or his handlers more precisely, for match fixing in those Liston fights, got tired of the circus and tried to nip it in the bud. The carnies had come to town and they were ripping the suckers off, and Sheriff John Brown did not take too kindly to that. And because he did not appreciate the great Ali through rose-colored glasses, he was obviously racist. Hey, maybe he was, but he had a point.